Okay, so just got done watching Food Inc. How awesome was that movie?
Tedious.
Tedious.
Very tedious.
I would like to say I fell asleep.
That's very true.
I'm sure it's very informative if you know nothing about the food industry when you walk in. But
yeah,
we all know fast food's bad. We all know that the animals that we breed to slaughter don't live great lives. And we all know that corn is in everything. And there's only so many damn Soylent Green jokes you can make about that.
Yeah, it's true. But one of the, I would say that one of the most surprising things is, in fact, that whole bean thing.
There's apparently bean companies that hire basically these hit squad investigators that go in and track you down for illegally planting seeds.
Yes.
And they will ruin your life. And it's like, what?
Yeah, apparently it's legal to patent life, meaning that I guess you have to purchase seeds, but then cannot reuse the said seeds because that's infringing upon the life patent of that seed, because I guess the seed has a patent inside of it. So in essence, you are forced to rebuy new seeds every year, otherwise you're infringing upon their patent of growing a plant, which is something that happens naturally in the world anyways, but I guess since it's genetically altered, it doesn't. But since it's so commonplace now, it genetically gets mixed in with the regular seeds, and there's no difference between regular seeds and old seeds as much anymore. So meaning that probably 90% of people who do end up growing corn might be growing corn from this company and infringing upon the patent.
That was bullshit too, because they have the one farmer just oh, I have regular seeds because I'm just some regular farmer, and he's completely surrounded by these genetically engineered farms. And just the fact that those seeds spread to his field by regular nature stuff, that makes him responsible for any seeds that he grows and harvests and replants that happen to be from the other ones.
And the thing is, they're just seeds. They show them, they just look like fucking seeds. So it's not like you can't just pick up a handful of seeds and just start picking them out and going, okay, these aren't mine. I mean, even when you grow the corn doesn't look different. It's not like the corn grows. Yeah. So how does someone know? Even how does this hit squad know? Yo, this farmer, right? I mean, unless it's by process of elimination, going, this is the only guy who doesn't buy our seeds, surrounded by people who do buy our seeds, meaning this guy probably has our seeds. And so you just muscle him into either joining your company, or he can't farm without the litigation of being sued every harvest because they're going you're stealing our seeds, and he's like, how am I stealing your seeds? Because they're all corn seeds. We're all sharing corn. We have enough corn. And in fact, the only good thing I can see from this is hopefully corn will stop being made in mass quantities. It's maybe hopefully corn will lower itself and there will be less corn. But it's also, then you go into, and then it gets into grander detail of how, a lawyer from one of that same seed company is also a judge who's also passing laws that allow people to sue for stealing life, and it just goes on, and I mean,
it essentially looks like the seed Illuminati.
Yeah, essentially it seems like
one illegal plant at a time.
Yeah,
they patent the growing process.
It's as if you can't. I mean, they control agriculture now. It's a mysterious board of directors sitting around going, all according to plan, corn is growing great. And it's now we need to genetically alter it to become super corn, and and we'll do it by forcing it down people's throats by it's and no, you can't have people inside of the government who worked for a company who are going to be given cases from the company they once previously were employed to and probably worked toward becoming a judge for, so that way the company probably still pays them for becoming a judge, so that way they give them better case results. So it's just the idea of you can have someone who goes into a gun store and they might have gone to jail once and they're never getting a gun in their life, but then you have someone who worked for a company, is handed a case on the company they previously worked for, and no one checked that in the background. No one said, well, hey, wait a second, Mr. Judge Joe Smith over here used to be a lawyer for them and used to defend this, used to get highly paid for this. Maybe he's a little bit biased towards the company itself because he might have friends in the company, yada, yada, yada. So there's no one fact-checking or background-checking these judges, and then you have speakers of FDA and people who are just
taking over the world.
Yeah, who are just all sitting here, part of these companies, and it's just you're sitting there and looking back and going, well, what are we supposed to do? Well, I guess you know, you have to submit to the Illuminati of the seeds.
And there's this clear thing where, like, about the whole spreading seeds thing, it's the responsibility of the farmer to prove that they're not that company's seeds, rather than the company's responsibility to prove that it is their seeds.
Yeah, how do you...
And it's like, how could a law that absurd possibly happen? Oh, because they made the law. Wait. They own both sides of the field.
So it's
they can't lose because they make the rules and they enforce them.
It makes it a win-win situation.
Well, yeah,
and they profit from them.
The company.
Yeah, I mean it's basically like playing tennis with yourself. You can't lose to yourself. I mean, you can't go home feeling bad because you can never lose to yourself. You always are a winner. So it's there's no point in playing the game. And so
we basically sat down to this movie that's going to try to do all these really terrible, like, emotionally manipulating bullshit scenes to try to get us to believe in, like, these
better, stricter
like environmental
laws,
protection and how we need to change the whole way the food system works. And all it really did was just tell us all the stuff we already know and not really teach us anything and do anything to change any minds we might have had. But then you have there's this random mafia story in the middle of it, and that kind of made the movie worth
and that
watching.
Was the most interesting part.
It was eerie, it was creepy, and it didn't fit anything else in the movie. It had nothing to do with health for like half an hour, but it's like, what the fuck? Why is there a seed hit squad? I love this. I want to watch this movie. I want to watch a whole movie about this.
So good.
I want to watch a TV show about the investigators that go hunting down illegal seed planters. Like, this is crazy.
I'm just curious how this all is overlooked. Like, no one... like, I can't imagine there's someone not in the government sitting here going, like, you know, this just does seem a little bit odd. I mean, there has to be someone sitting there looking at this going, like, I don't care how much money you throw at my face. This is just stupid. You can't send mafia members to break the legs of farmers who are using seeds to feed other people. Like
they had a list of all the people, of all the bad farmers. Basically,
that's even better. It's like people who don't buy their seeds.
Am I on this list? Sure are. It's like,
and then
why is there a list?
Yeah, why
they're keeping track? It's like the Matrix. They're gonna just.
And then when they are on the list, the people that are associated with the company are not able to talk to any of them, and they have to like hide themselves.
Yeah, and it's like it's a secret. Like I don't, and it literally feels like they're trying to keep a secret, but the secret is they grow corn. It's not. I mean, it's not like it's a revolutionary corn. It's not like it's special corn, genetic corn that makes you stronger, faster. You know, it's just corn. And the only difference between this corn...
We will rebuild him. We have the technology.
Yeah, and the only difference between literally this corn and everybody else's goddamn corn is that it can be sprayed with Roundup. That's it. There's nothing that sets this corn any more apart from everybody else. And I guess, you know, it can be sprayed with Roundup. Who cares? Like, that's not enough for me to go, yeah, you know what, you should break the legs of old farmers who've been doing it for 50 years because they don't want to conform to your crazy Roundup.
Here's a better idea. If you've engineered some sort of crazy version of a crop or any other product that can self-replicate, maybe patenting that as your entire business model isn't the best approach. Maybe you should go into something that actually has to be bought. Because like this thing, like whose idea is like there's no viable reason. Like, we're gonna patent something that self-replicates that anyone could just use indefinitely on their own after they buy it from us. Oh, wait, we can just take over the entire system and overhaul the what's legal and what isn't just so that we can get them that way. It's like, what?
Well, it's because there's no profitability unless someone is strong-arming people into not reusing a product. I mean, that's like, you know, it's like towels. Like, if a towel company went into the process of, you can only use a towel to wipe yourself off once. If you do it again, so help me God, we will sue you.
It's like the fucking Stride commercial.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of like the Stride commercial where it's like, you know, spit it out to another piece. Like, I don't want to. I shouldn't have to. You can't. You know, it's like, if I'm going to reuse a product that can be reused, why would you make something that cannot be reused but automatically makes itself reusable? That doesn't make any sense. It's like someone, again, you can look at any a coffee machine. You can only make coffee once. Because if it makes coffee again, we're not getting the extra money on you buying a new coffee maker. So you have to keep buying.
So you're infringing our patent.
Yeah, so it's like you have to keep buying a coffee maker every time it makes coffee, or else you're infringing our patent to make coffee. It's like, no, what? It's a completely reusable item, and you knew it before making it. It's not like they made the corn seeds to go, oh crap, they can reuse itself.
That's part of. It's part of what the plant does. It's if you look at a plant as a feature, the ability to create itself is it's a feature on the product. Like, it's like saying you can get this Xbox, but if you play DVDs on your Xbox, you're infringing our patent because that's a feature we don't want you to use. It's like,
yeah.
why is it there then? Oh wait, because that's how it works. Because it's nature. Damn nature, you liable.
But I mean, it's like it literally is. It's the point. Like someone, if you did create a law to, if you patent human life, like if somehow God was an asshole and just decided he's patenting human life, and now all this revenue has to come to him in order to procreate. How do you go about like? There has to be a limitation to where you can't keep doing this. Someone has to stop you and go, this has to end. You're hustling people for money now. It's not even a business model anymore. It's now a scam. Like you're literally scamming people into using your beans or your seeds, and then forcing them to keep repurchasing them every time because, it doesn't explain what they do with the old seeds.
It's something that doesn't even begin to make any logical sense, but they just made it the way that the world works because they took it over.
But what happens to the old seeds?
They feed them to the pigs. I don't know.
But that's the thing. Like, what happens to the old seeds? All it says is you can't reuse them. So,
what do they do with them?
They repackage them and sell them again. What do you do with the reused ones?
They repackage and give it to other farmers and say that they're perfectly new seeds because technically they are.
Or you just
but I wonder, it's like if the farmers get these seeds, what do they do with them? Like, did they sell them back to the company that gets them?
No, they can't sell them because it's infringing on the patent.
Do they have to just give them back to the company, or do they burn them or something? You can't bury them because that would be patent infringement because they grow into plants.
So technically,
burn them in the fireplace. They're going to keep you warm over the winter.
They managed to create a product that is so
Could you patent manure?
I don't know, but
because it regrows everything. Like literally, you control the world. It's like, did that piece of poop grow a tree? That's my tree. Don't touch my tree. I'm gonna sue you for assault or for vandalism on my tree.
Like you could
if you patent a genetically an awesome piece of crap that can grow anything. But it's anything that can do something special than any other plants. So it's like I can genetically modify poop that when it goes inside of a species and it comes back out on the land, it regrows a certain type of plant that's susceptible to this, but it also provides 20% more oxygen to the earth. And now anybody who ever owns this tree, I mean, you can have such a ridiculous grand scheme.
End to any of
it. Because then you're talking about again. Well, what happens when those trees happen to create more seeds? Well, now I own those trees. Well, what happens?
What happens if a bunch of pigs eat that corn? Like they said, they feed the corn to the pigs. Are they now patented pigs? If they have crap, is that manure patented?
Because the manure...
Is this their scheme for this company to take over the world? Literally by owning everything.
Yeah, any life. I've never heard of any other patents for life aside from this. I didn't even know you could patent life until this movie. So I'm assuming they're the only. They had to make it up. They had to make up the right to patent life, and then all of a sudden made seeds, and then everybody else was like, well, fuck, that's it. They got the only patent that it matters because seeds regrow everything. So it's I guess because it's only corn seeds they have it out, but. What's to stop this company from not having the patent for regrowing seeds? Seeds in general, genetically altered seeds are our patent.
They basically made up a thing where they can profit off this thing that makes no logical sense. So every limit ever attached to it for where the line is drawn is always going to be completely arbitrary.
Yeah, so
they can move it whenever they feel like it. Apparently,
I just say the government's trying to steal everyone's money.
But it's not even to the government. That's the worst part. It's going to a company.
It's a company that infiltrated the government.
Yeah,
basically.
They're scamming the government out of their own money too. Because I'm sure that if the government wanted to, they could probably get on this and regulate the hell out of it and make a lot of money. Saying okay, so you sell the seeds company, we go and we take the seeds back and then we sell them back to you. You can regulate it in that way and going well, we have to check the quality of these seeds to even give them back to you, which means that in order to get your seeds back, we have to make sure that these seeds are viable to be resold because they're technically reselling the same product then, unless they destroy the seeds, which I doubt they are. So they have to be reselling it, but is it still a quality product? I wish that you would have
told us where the seeds go because I can't stop thinking about that now.
Yeah, because it's
bothering me.
Because if they do reuse
where can you possibly put them that won't... if you just go leave them somewhere or throw them away, they're gonna grow something. They're seeds. They kind of tend to grow whenever they're in anything besides fire.
Toss them in a fireplace. They'll keep you warm over the winter.
But the only thing I don't understand is if they do, say for hypothetical reasons, if they do reuse them, then wouldn't there have to be a check in place to make sure that the quality of the seed is still good?